Chelsea fans, today we are talking about top 10 best Chelsea players in football, and these players I used scouting them, and I will give you full review of these players. So let's begin. So the number 10 is Pedro Neto, which is right winger and his stats looking mid. So I prefer do not use this card because his over is very low and many best right wingers are coming in future. So I recommend if you are a beginner you can use him or else not. So I rate this card 4.5 out of 10. So let's move on to the next player. So the number 9 is Enzo Fernandez, which has a mid playstyle power shot. So this card is okay, and stats are looking mid for a center midfielder, and passes is also average or below, and I will rate this card out of 6 out of 10. So let's move on to the next player. So the number 8 is Reece James, and this is good for a new right back, those who are new in this game or event, and his play style is good for counter attack and crossing. Overall, this card I will rate 6.8 out of 10. So let's move on to the next player. The number 7 is Casiro, which is an CDM, and he is good in CDM formation, but do not use him if you are building a higher squad. Overall, I will rate this out of. So the number 6 is Malo Gusto, and he has good defensive playstyle called Accelerator. And if you are confused which is better, James or Malo, I will recommend if you need a attacking fullback, use James, or if you need defensive, go for Malo. Overall, I will rate this card out of 7 point out of 10. So let's move on to the next player. So the number 5 is Joy Pedro, which is striker, guys, and he can play also can, and he has clinical finisher which may be good for attackers. Overall, if you need this, wait, because some are cheap and best compared to this and costing around his 7,000 shots. Overall, I will rate this out of 7 point out of 10. So around, let's move on to the next player. The number 4 is none other than Cole Palmer. This card is good for cheap beast squad and good playstyle called finish expert, which very good in head to head and very he is very smooth and he can play as a RM. Overall, I will rate this card 8.2 out of 10. So move on another player. So the number 2 is Peter Cech, and seriously blindly go for him if you need a goalkeeper or you're building on higher squad. Overall, I will rate this card 9.5 out of 10. So let's move on to the number 1 player. So the number 1 player is none other than Drogba. This guy is so good in head to head and his shots are very good, but I recommend don't buy him now because in next week the better strikers are coming. So say star shots, and if you get him in draft and if you're a cross spammer you can use him. So I will rate this card 10 out of 10. In this video we told about top 10 Chelsea players, and if you need more reviews in these events are coming next week, you can like and subscribe. So let's move on to the next video.